In yesterday's video, we looked through what levels retail would go all in and get really excited, and when retail could come all out. You're going to see across social media that people are going to get very, very excited about crypto. But it's important to note, yesterday they were predicting the end of the world. The emotional roller coaster that is trading and investing, you can step off it at any time. You just need to know the structure. Let's have a look at the key structural levels across the charts that you really need to know about. Let's run the numbers. Welcome back to the Daily Show, everyone. Here we look at the price action like an institution would. We are not retail. One of the things that we can see on Bitcoin, it did flatline for quite a while. It's now making a decision to go up and to leave all of these MAs or moving averages behind. Or is it? The key is always structure. When looking at price behavior, it can look really random, but it's not. It's always structurally based. And when we did our analysis together in yesterday's video, we said if price gets above that 97,915, retail's going to get pretty euphoric. But if it drops below 93,922, retail will be terrified. And it was pretty terrified yesterday, believe it or not. As soon as the markets turn green, everybody develops amnesia. But the key levels to look at in yesterday's video were the 94,574 and the 96,493 mark. We can see that the 96,493 held very nicely. We always look from a structural perspective, and this allows us to see where the true market structure is inside the market. What we've seen is that price has come up to the 98,384 level. We had bullish price momentum in the past 24 hours. Now we're getting up into resistance, and there's further resistance above from that 99,305 to 99,534. If we can manage to hold the 98,384, we're getting up into the 99,534 area and potentially above. That's a bullish case scenario. If a bearish case scenario, we lose the 98,384 and start to retest around the 96,493, but predict a structural overshoot there. That's a pretty large negative CTKS gap. The momentum inside the markets is undoubtedly bullish at this current time. The thing to just be aware of, when we look at Bitcoin on a daily basis, we've seen improvements in Bitcoin. It has wobbled around quite a bit, but it's starting to break out. Just bear in mind that even though we break out, retracements are possible. You can come up and come back. Always be prepared for the price to go in a wave-based function. This is the way it works. If anybody says, oh, you'll miss out, it's going to the moon, etc., well, it's not true. Price is always moving in a wave. People would say that there, people would say that there, you get the idea. Especially when Bitcoin gets going, we need to be aware of where total crypto market cap is going as well. Total crypto market cap and Bitcoin do move together. From a structural perspective, we can see that in the last 24 hours, this was where the video was 24 hours ago. It's managed to come through that 3.16 trillion and up to the 3.19 trillion. This is really positive stuff, especially because of Bitcoin structure. So if we manage to get a bullish case, we could really take off to that $3.27 trillion mark. A bearish case scenario, we come down and retest this 3.16. If we lose out this particular level, that opens up the 3.05. You don't need certainty inside financial markets, you just need a system to deal with the uncertainty. With this in mind, total crypto market cap has come through two structural levels and is just consolidating at the current time. If total crypto market cap takes off, we could very well come up to the 101,819 area. And if we get downside momentum, it's likely that we will consolidate above that 96,493. The levels therefore to watch in the next 24 hours are this 96,493, movement below that is very bearish, and movement above the 98,384 is bullish. We've not confirmed it yet, but it is looking quite good. A big thank you to everybody who commented in yesterday's video. Rundle Ridge said, "I win or learn and never blame" goes with one of my Rundle Ridge rules. Keep should, would, and could out of your speaking and out of your thinking. These are limiting words that create unnecessary pressure and evoke feelings of regret and blame. Instead, I learn by being present and focused in the lesson. I observe and believe I can, with a direct, positive, and action-orientated focus. Using a more empowering approach to increase knowledge. Be kind to yourself and others. Beautiful Rundle Ridge. And thank you to everybody else who commented. It's just a beautiful, beautiful community. One thing to keep in mind as we look at total crypto market cap, remember I was saying that Bitcoin hasn't yet confirmed. If we start to lose this 3.19 trillion, expect a movement back into this particular area. Now notice this gap inside that particular price action. Where is that gap in terms of Bitcoin? It's just around that 97,400 area. Reading through charts is a very important skill. Turning to Litecoin, in yesterday's price action, Litecoin was around here. Litecoin has been on a tear recently, but it can't get away from structure. At this 139.20 mark and down at the 136.70, there's quite a bit of overhead structural resistance. Litecoin came into that area and just started to lose steam. You can see it retesting and failing, retesting and failing, retesting and failing. Now, what does this mean? It means when you get a failure on a structural level, especially several structural levels, you'll get negative structural attraction to lower levels. So you must be aware where they are. For example, you can imagine looking at Litecoin just with the price action like this. You would never know that there's a structural level at 127.90 that could contain price and potentially rebound it. I'd like to let the people know who applied for the Profiting from CTKS Method Structure Partial Scholarship. I will be awarding that over the next couple of days. This particular scholarship allows you affordable access into the Profiting from CTKS Method Structure course. There is so much in this course that is undoubtedly game-changing. You'll learn the 7 secrets to consistent profitability, the foundations for analyzing CTKS structure, what to do when a trade turns against you, a pre-trading checklist, being right or wrong or profitable. You'll learn how to look into all the cheat sheet components to independently assess direction. You can be your own financial advisor if you know what you're doing. And that's what all of our videos are for, to help you to break free and to gain exceptional financial literacy. In week 3, you'll look across over my shoulder as I do trades in a terrible market where the market is just coming down and down and down and down. I'll go long at spot and show you that you can make money in any market condition. I'll also explain trading automation and we'll go day by day through a variety of different trades. In week 4, you'll consolidate all your knowledge. There's a lot of important information in week 4. I can't just say it enough. Week 4 is vitally important if you want to keep your money. Those scholarship announcements will be coming out relatively soon. To be considered for the partial scholarship, just use the link in the description of this video. You can directly message me on LinkedIn. I'd also suggest you edit your About section and just put in your qualifications. For example, if you've done the masterclass, pop that in. If you're a member of the service, pop that in. If you're a trader, pop that in. There's still a little bit of time, so if you want to be considered for that partial scholarship, please reach out to me ASAP. Getting independent from the market is incredibly important. That's why we look through the CTKS cheat sheet. It has 7 rows, but 3 areas. Row 1 and row 2 are all about risk. 3 and 4 are all about the major stock market. And from 5 down to 7 is all about the crypto market. Row 1 and row 2 are the vital ones to keep your eyes on. These literally move the markets. And then you see confirmation between row 1 and row 2 across all of the different rows. This allows us to be independent from the news. Always keep your eye on the news, but it's generally just crazy retail sentiment. When looking through the S&P 500, and this is a very important index to keep your eyes on, we managed to come up through that previous all-time high, and then we were whacked. We came down through the 61.14 level and found structural support at 60.89. We've come back and retested, and we're showing bullish price momentum currently. In the last trading session, junk bonds was just here, and we saw it wobble around the 96.68. It's so far come up to the 96.78 level, and that's a pretty strong level. If we get a backing or rejection, structural rejection back here, we can head back to the 96.68. One of the things you'll note is that Bitcoin and junk bonds, they do hang out together. Having a quick look at gold, we saw that gold was rallying quite substantially, and when anything rallies and it encounters structural resistance, it will slow down and potentially reverse course, at least consolidate. And that's what we've been seeing in gold's price momentum just recently. But it is consolidating rather well. It's still in an uptrend. But what does it need to overcome to go bullish again? That 29.39 level is really important to overcome. Then we have a structural resistance. It is quite light, but it is there at 29.50. The more major one is at 29.59. If we start to break down, we've got a really good level of structural support at 29.30. Just keep in mind what structure is doing. There's still a lot of fear inside the crypto market, and we've seen that fear has been increasing for quite some time, so please be aware of this. Don't worry about the stories of your favorite influencers, just look at structure. In the profiting course, I talk a lot about retail trade perfection. Unfortunately, most investors, when they get started, are simply emotional traders. Now, what does that mean? They see the chart going up and up and up, and they say, gee, baby, I need to get in on that. And when they buy, the chart does the unthinkable, it calms down, and they sell. That is emotional trading and not investing. Typically, when everybody is getting into something, that's the time to not get into it, because it's unlikely, in all probability, it's about to come down because of structure. Therefore, understanding Rule 138 is vitally important. Even if you classify yourself as an investor, always know that all investors become traders every single time they buy or sell. Now, what do traders do? They look to time the market, and if they're looking structurally, they do a very good job of it. If they're looking across the cheat sheet, they understand how everything is moving around. They understand how to look through a chart, how intercorrelation and interconnection play out. And as well, they don't fall for retail games because they know what they are. Therefore, if you're an investor, you're probably an emotional trader until you become at the institutional level. And if you're at the institutional level as an investor, you already know about intercorrelation, interconnection, retail trade perfection, looking through charts, and so much, much more. If you don't know about these things, it's time to grab the cheat sheet. It's absolutely free and available right now from CTKSmethod.org. A lot of people simply don't want to put in the time, and you should always know that in life, shortcuts lead to long-term setbacks. A lot of people say, oh, I'll just fake it until I make it. Fake is fake. Instead, use a thought from the creed, I am worthy, I go slow to go fast. Going slow will build up awesome fundamentals. And always remember that all your results come from your mind, so a better mind will create better outcomes, and better habits will create a better life. One thing is, so many people are in they want to sprint through life. You can't. It's a marathon. It's just far too long. You'll blow yourself up. Just know that when you put in the work, when you show up every day, know the universe is designed to make you succeed. And thank you again to everybody who commented in yesterday's video and previous videos. You're just awesome. And if you're new to our community, a very warm welcome. You'll find us one of the best communities on YouTube. Always start small and scale. Go slow to go fast. Don't worry about getting 1,000,000,000,000% return. So many people say, oh, if it's not 1,000% return, I didn't do a good job. Mamma mia, the risk you're putting yourself through to get that return is nutty. Just know that opportunities and life reset on a daily basis. And when we're dedicated and committed, when we focus on winning and learning and not blaming, we just move ahead naturally in life. Forget about competition. So many people compete against other people. How on earth can you compete against someone else? You are totally unique, and the person you're competing against is totally unique as well. How can two unique things compete against each other? They've already won. That would be a good thing to talk about, competition. Please let me know your thoughts on it in the comments. I think it's a very important thing to chat about. Have a great day or night ahead, my friends, and Kate and I look forward to catching up with you again in the next video. Bye for now.